32 FM 94.9. We're transmitting live from the fourth floor of Cocoa House, Ibadan. My name is Kenny Durutilu.
And I'm GBOLABO. Famous School. It's really great to be back on the show this morning. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, GBOLABO. Of course, we're taking a look at the major stories coming out of the newspapers this morning. As always, we have a plethora of papers this morning, from the Punch newspaper to the Guardian to the Premium Times. All of that we'll be sharing with you in a moment. All right, we'll kick off with the Punch newspaper. Kidnappers release ex-NBA president Okewale after 14 days in captivity. It's the major story there from the Premium Times. Buhari governors commend Nigerian workers, assured of some commitments to welfare rights. Workers' Day, NLC demands 65 years retirement age. Talking security now, police arrest suspected IPOB members who allegedly killed 5 officers couple in Imo. Egypt finally opens border to Nigerian evacuees from Sudan. UTME JAMB announces date for rescheduled exams 2023 UTME, and that's education there. NNPP headquarters overrules Ogun chapter on petition against Governor Abiodun's re-election. Elsewhere, you find this one having to do with Mayday. Zamfara civil servants bemoan non-payment of salaries for 3 months. PDP urges Nigerian workers not to lose hope on petition against Tinubu. Take a couple more from the Premium Times, talking about some other stories here. Batara visits family of late Rep-elect, offers scholarship to son. He was avid to perform at King Charles III coronation concert, and that's on the entertainment side of things there. 2 dead, 12 injured in Kogi lone accident road, FRC. All right, moving over to the Daily Trust newspaper. Cancer scare. We have banned importation of Indomie noodles. That's according to NAFDAC. It's a story that's common to many of the papers this morning. Nantes sacks Algerian star Ali for going to under-17 AFCON. 4 robbery suspects arrested 1 month after operation in Ogun. Kano steals block industry for violating sanitation order. Stakeholders hold peace parley on Gwarimpa conflict. Nigeria, our home, our country. Elsewhere, Egypt has opened borders for Nigerians fleeing Sudan. That's coming from the federal government. Kano, new Emirates have come to stay. Ganduje replies Kwakunso. Workers' Day, 4 major labor crises that dominate Buhari's government. 4 major labor crises that dominate Buhari's government. Security, bandits kill 40 in Kebbi, Zamfara. Edo farmer commits suicide after stabbing wife over infidelity.
All right, over now to the Daily Post this morning. There are quite a number of headlines there, and of course, top stories making the headlines. We have, like Buhari appointing Governor Umahi begs for forgiveness, and of course, all the headlines there too. Also have Workers' Day, NLC demands for 65 years retirement age. And more of the headlines there too on the Daily Post this morning. Also has this is some of the top headlines. Details of Nigeria's new tax laws on vehicles. All right, alcohol, telecommunication, 2023 presidency, PDP, LP, NPC in fresh attack. All right, APC here, 2023 presidency, PDP, LP, APC in fresh tirade of attacks, and lawyers seek sanctions. Professors helping government politicians rig elections. That's Father Olorma throwing that in. And Also, let's look at more headlines there. Kogi Guba, consult us. All right, that is coming from Melaye. Consult us for your own good. Which is Wizard 1, Dino Melaye. And of course, more headlines there says Workers' Day. My salary is only 942,000 naira monthly, coming from Ingige. May Day, consumption to production impossible without workers. Peter Obi is handing that down. Governor Wike orders immediate release of promotion letters to civil servants. And more headlines still talking about Workers' Day, address issues of pension adjustment, gratuities before exiting office. NLC begs Udom. And May Day, Adeleke begs Ocean workers for forgiveness. All right, trade of for forgiveness there. And Okwemedu, and we have this UK police EFCC's cattle bail process.
All right, we take some headlines from the Punch newspaper. Lawless naval ratings brutalize Oguman over parking space. Sudan, Egypt, open border for stranded Nigerians. Akpabio meets Buhari, defends Senate presidency of mission. 12 potential marriage partners to avoid. Subsidy, salary payment unlikely after June, says Obaseki. The major story out of the Punch newspaper. Tinubu promises tough decisions. NLC demands near retirement age. Coming southwest now, Tola inaugurates panel. Aregbeshola's men lists conditions for talks. Motorists stranded as flood takes over Lagos-Ibadan Expressway Bridge. And of course, you find that on the Metro Plus pages of the Punch. Strike, Nard fumes as Ngige condemns doctors' entitlement mentality. Police DSS INEC joint panel invites suspended Adamawa wreck. Another story coming to many of the papers this morning. Hunter trailing antelope shoots colleague dead in Ugu. Also from the Metro Plus pages. We'll take some other stories now before we go on a commercial break. Subsidy salary payments unlikely after June, says Obaseki. Builders consider brick option as housing shortage worsens. That's talking business.
All right. Before we go on that break, Buhari, let's quickly go to Cable NG this morning. There are quite a number of headlines there. And of course, this says, my salary is 942,000 naira monthly. I don't get allowance, says Ngige. Buhari, fair economic structure, equal opportunities, essential for development. And here we have Akpabio, I will be an uncommon transformer if I'm Senate President. God will not allow it. Gandija speaks on plan to review Sanusi's dethronement. All right. Obaseki, federal government may not be able to pay workers beyond June. It will either remove subsidy or print money. And of course, more on the Cable NG this morning says Egypt has opened border for Nigerian students. Fleeing Sudan, says federal government. Police panel invites suspended Adamawa wreck over conduct during GBOLABO. And federal government NAF ready to bring home stranded students, but Egypt's border still closed. All right, and that's just about it from the Cable NG, and we'll take this moment. We'll be back shortly.
FM 94.9.
My friend, you don't buy new mattress?
Yeah, so they even dash me bag of rice join.
For real?
It is real. Buy any Mocha Flora or Mocha Wellbeing Regina mattress with 2 pillows and get a bag of rice free. Visit any accredited Mocha dealer nationwide to purchase. Offer valid while stocks last. Terms and conditions apply. Mocha, adding comfort to life.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákànlọ́. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
My people, this na the tori of Zainab. Na better food she dey chop to take start her day. Come ensure her body with the ogbonge one, the Dion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. She don dey kampe, ready to go.
Joe, how now?
Good morning, Zainab. That na why she dey shine well for work.
Abeg, pass me the script.
And even for play. The Dion syrup of hemoglobin get vitamin B12 and protein to help fight anemia, exhaustion and fatigue. Just knack 2 spoons of the Dions every day and na so you go just dey sharp rapa. You fit take am direct or you fit mix am with juice. Show say you be champion. Take the Dions.
To be healthy, strong and active, I say. Take the Dions.
The Dion syrup of hemoglobin vitamin B12. Na the power to unleash. Make una read the product leaflet o.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. You're still on to Break It Down Papers Review here on 32 FM 94.9. And of course, we're delving into the analysis. We already have Mr. Austin Iduma with us in the studios. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Austin. Of course, good morning. We'll take a look at the situation with the Minister of Labour, Chris Ngige, and of course the doctors. That's relating to the proposed strike action of NARD and all of that situation going right now. Austin, we'd like you to, of course, try to break down what's going on here. Ngige has described their demands as absurd and their ultimatum that they issued as, sort of flimsy right now. What do you make of all of that?
Yes, most often time you see institution wanting to go on strike, especially the build-up to the taking over by a new government. Of course, they want the best of bargain to take place before an administration, a full and new administration come on stream. However, I think for the period under review too, Chris Ngige as the Minister of Labour has poorly managed industrial issues in the country. I don't want to believe that there is any demand that is, first of all, absurd or that is not implementable. It's about negotiation, it's about conversation. Some of the agitation of the National Association of Resident Doctors have always been on the front burner. There have never been any time that their demand were totally met. In 2017, for example, they went on the same strike. The strike was suspended. It was never called off because of the hardship in the health sector at that particular point in time. So a lot of prominent Nigerians mediated and they had to go back to the classroom.
Right.
I think in 2021 or so, they had issues too. And at some point, they had to consider the essential nature of their services. Now, the point really is this. It is how you manage all of these crises that matters, that make you a purposeful leader. Not as if there won't be crisis. If you look at, we have a lot of brain drain in terms of our medical sector. Now, what is the government doing? Create an enabling environment. Of course, the government is also looking at the possibility of signing an agreement that will look like a bond, because the implication of that is that government at some point, especially the federal government, have invested in the training, in the training of medical personnel, especially the residency program. So for some period, the government can say, oh, don't travel out of the country,
right,
but you must create an enabling environment in terms of welfare, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of workplace environment. So all of this have to be in place. So I advise the government, I advise Ngige to look into it properly and see a possible way out. We can't afford another shutdown of the health sector at this critical point in time.
All right.
Okay. Before we go to another story, I'm seeing here that they're demanding an increment in the consolidated medical salary structure to the tune of 200% of their current gross salaries. Now, do you feel that that is outrageous, overboard?
Yes, if you look at it, it is outrageous. Like I said, let there be negotiation. Whatever that the government can do, give us your offer. Anybody can say, oh, I want this or I want that. We must have a driving force. Are we buoyant at this time to actually meet that demand? Like I said, it's a whole number of factors that are responsible in all that we discussed. I don't always like a situation where workers want to go on strike as a result of salary issues alone. No. You can also decide to hold the government accountable on other critical area or provision of essential services, because if it has to do with salary and allowances alone, it makes you a selfish party. That is what it means, at the detriment of the masses. You should consider the interest. Even if your salary is increased to 1 million naira per month, how well do you have that conducive environment to deliver such service to the people? I don't know whether you are getting it. So it shouldn't be about salary. It should be about infrastructure in the health sector. It should be about the issue of enabling environment, able to meet international standard as far as that is concerned. You understand? Right. So I'm beginning to imagine how the government can revamp that sector. Why not bring in more people, recruit more people into the fold, rather than one person doing the work of 2,000 persons? Or attending to 2,000 patients. Let bring in more people, so that at the end of the day, the work will be lesser and the pay will commensurate with the volume of work done.
All right, I think you're not looking at the trivial aspect of this, and this is so amazing for me, because for Ngige to tell us that he's earning 942,000 naira monthly, like as if it's something that he's a compulsion, that he must be the minister. And now he's saying that out of this 942,000 naira a month, his PA will share there. His gross total after tax, my feeding, my transport, the transport of one of my PA, the salary of my gardener. He even has a gardener. He even has a cook. Yes. Now, to me, I think this is a major insult to the sensibility of many workers out there, because what is the labor minister trying to portray? It's not like as if somebody put a gun to his head and say, go and be a labor minister. If it's not paying you, you leave the work. Now, making that as a sort of justification for workers not to cry foul, isn't that amazing, coming from the labor minister itself?
I think Igige is playing to the gallery. It's one of the worst labor ministers we have had in history. That's just the truth. He has poorly managed some of the labor issues that we have in the country. There is this particular popular singer sometimes ago. He said that you can't over anybody. So that is, it is whatever you want, you can say with your mouth. This statement by Chris Gigi, let us also not get it wrong. This is a salary. You understand? See, when politician emphasizes or public office holder emphasizes salary, we don't have issues with their salary.
What's the accent?
See, lawmakers will tell you, National Assembly member, senator will tell you that my salary is 720,000 naira a month. We don't have problem with their salary. The problem we have is their allowances, what they take in a month, what is accruable to that office. This is the same Ngige in the year 2021 that padded the budget of an agency under his supervision to the tune of over 400 million.
So what are we now saying?
You understand?
Yeah.
So for him to now come to tell us that, oh, this is my salary, this is what I earn. There was a lawmaker sometimes ago that said that they are poorly paid. They should earn more. Because when a lawmaker, for example, tells you that my salary is 720,000, and such lawmaker goes home with about 15 million extra in a month in form of allowances here and there, it means that it speaks volume. So what the minister is saying, number one, the minister is not sincere. The truth is not in the minister, and the minister is being political, is being mischievous, and is also playing to the gallery. Because I think majorly he's speaking in the context of his salary, basic salary, for example, what it takes home in a month as salary. He should go ahead to also tell us. Because, for example, if you are a manager in a private organization, a multinational organization, for example, you'll be entitled to an official card.
So what's the justification here, Austin? What exactly is the justification that the Labour Minister wants to make? Because if you're collecting up to 1 million naira and doing virtually nothing, and you're still telling us that this is what you get.
You can't say he's doing virtually nothing. Okay. He's causing crisis and dichotomy within the labor structure in the country. You understand? The minister is only trying to say that workers go and keep quiet. You are complaining, you are talking about minimum wage. Me too. This is the amount that I collect. There's no truth in what the minister is saying. I know of a former minister, a former presidential aspirant under the APC, former minister who resigned under President Muhammadu Buhari administration, collected 10 million naira in form of bribe. You understand? Down payment, cash payment in form of bribe. Such money does not pass through account. So let Ngige come out in the name of God to say that 900 what you call
942,000
times 12 times the number of years he has been in office, that is what can be found in his account. Let him come out to say that. I just told you of a major crisis that happened 2 years ago under one of the agency he supervises, wherein he padded the budget. The case also involved the wife at some point. He padded the budget. About 2 Prado Jeep were included. 2 brand new INT'L vehicles were included. And huge sum of money. The National Assembly probed this incident that I'm referring to. So nobody should come and bamboozle. Nobody should come and fool us. You tell us that the allowances of what the doctors are asking for is ridiculous. Now you are coming to further ridicule and insult the sensibility of Nigerians. I think it is not good for us.
Okay, with the senators-elect and the reps-elect right now, we understand that they're jostling for positions. News coming out this morning reveals that the Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, now Senator-elect for the Ikotek-Penes Senatorial District, GBOLABO, has informed President Muhammadu Buhari of his intent to be president of the 10th Senate. Now, the thing here is that with all of that, all the activities going on, everyone, jostling for positions and all of that, is there consciousness as to the challenges that lies ahead, of these senators or, senators-elect when work actually begins fully?
Yes, for an average lawmaker, for example, I think it's majorly about the contestation for power. These challenges that you are looking at, that does not make any meaning to them. They just want to get into the position, have access to public funds, amass as much wealth as they can amass. The issue of how to deliver dividends of democracy, how to meet the yearning and aspiration of the people is none of their agenda. The outgoing Senate president once told us that whatever President Muhammadu Buhari feels is the best for the country. You understand? Right. So that does not really matter to them. It's not in their front burner, because what they do is, let me see whatever I can get. So he has gone to President Muhammadu Buhari, presented his certificate of return to him. I begin to wonder from what time to what time that all of a sudden you went to Mr. President to present your certificate of return. So it's ordinarily expected that these people will want to struggle for power here and there. And at the end of the day, the people will still suffer for it. They should realize that there is a huge expectation gap from the people. The people expect more than ever before, because poverty has been created and recreated, replicated by this government. A lot of challenges here and there. Standard of living, purchasing power is at its lowest ebb. So a lot of sectors are suffering, healing in the country today. So we need the incoming administration to sit down properly, and in the process of doing that, you must assemble the best team as possible. We can decide to engage the best of us to work for the rest of us. So let us look at it from that angle. Let's set agenda for those that will lead the 10th National Assembly and for those who will constitute part of the government that is about to be formed. There's nothing wrong with Akpabio's candidacy.
Right.
I don't see anything wrong in it. Ordinarily, some people feel that, first of all, it has to be in the south, and secondly, and particularly, it has to go to the southeastern part of the country just to drive all-inclusiveness. But some people are also permutating, what did you bring to the table, what in terms of pattern of vote or what have you. That, on a good day, may not be the only yardstick to be able to judge all of this. Some people have also argued that during the Obasanjo administration, the southeasterner have always been the Senate president and what have you. That since the inception of this particular regime or this particular republic, South have never been able to produce the Senate president. I think the last one was Joseph Wires, the Second Republic, 79-83. You understand? That is an argument. Let's see how this zoning or whatever that the ruling party is contemplating can bring proper and good legislation for prosperity and for the good of the country. That should be the overall driving force.
All right, Austin. Let's quickly look at this because we have to take a moment. But before then, now this is a fallout of the May Day. And obviously what Labour is asking for, it's actually not too much. Looking at the fact that when an administration is about to wind down, you have instances of last-minute looting. Now, you have unspent budget too there. I think at a point in time, we had issues with Yabo Obasanjo at a point in time over unspent budgets and thereabouts with Adenike Grange. Now, this has been like what is obtainable in our governance structure. And now Labour is issuing that warning to Buhari to see there must not be last-minute looting. Now, Buhari is saying, don't even check my books. I have all the documents there. Don't even bring me before any court or any National Assembly because I have done my bidding and I've done it transparently. If you need to check the books, go and check it. Now, for the last-minute looting, how do we address this? This has become like a charade. It's what is obtainable within our governance structure, and would it not still repeat itself when Buhari is just about to leave?
It's already happening. That's the truth. Buhari self has not really helped matter. That's also another truth. Because of this issue of borrowing, look at the president applied for a loan of $800 million to cushion the effect of the eventual subsidy removal. It has not been removed. So, what is that? I said it yesterday. I said so many people within this government are trying to pay themselves off one way or the other with public fund. We talked about the census, the NPC yesterday. Money were earmarked. They knew that the census wouldn't be possible. They decided to start the process. They took some money, and today the census have been postponed indefinitely. So what Labour is saying, I don't think there's anything that can stop it because it's already going on. That's the truth of the matter. A lot of government officials are siphoning government funds. It is not just enough to say that, oh, as the president, I am not stealing or I will not steal. The people that you surround yourself with also matters. This same thing happened under the Jonathan administration, and it's repeating itself today. Jonathan will tell you that I am not a thief, and I feel so strongly that there is no way you could trace illicit funds to personal account of former president. Good Lord, Jonathan.
But how do we pay back this debt?
But they have been.
How do we pay back the debt? Like 77 trillion naira debt is what we've incurred as a nation. Looking at the projection of the DMO office, then how do we pay back all of this?
See,
debt?
It's a major problem. What the government can do at best is to service the debt. We hope that the incoming administration will sit down with this debt issue, see the possible way of renegotiating some.
While looting is going on.
Renegotiating some, and at the end of the day, restructure some to the advantage of the people. Because we may not get debt forgiveness. You will only forgive debt for persons or people or institutions that you feel they don't have money. But in our case, we have the money. We even borrow to loot. We are not even borrowing to invest in critical sector of our economy. So how we pay the debt is left to the next administration. Don't forget, I keep saying this, that I don't know what people see in the presidency of Nigeria that they want to kill themselves for. Because for me, I saw problem, I saw trouble, I saw challenges. I saw a situation where it becomes extremely difficult for a president to satisfy and meet the yearning of Nigeria because of the crisis, because of the rot in the system already.
All right, we'll have to take some commercials. We'll be back.
32 FM 94.9.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákọlọ. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
I'm living the life cause I get Tizeti. Yes.
Kọ́ńbù ẹ̀kú àlejò imú gbòǹgbò ọ̀nà ẹ̀kú àlejò ẹsẹ̀. Ìbàdàn nílé Olúyọ̀lé ẹ̀kú àmójúbà Tizeti Network Limited pẹ̀lú Tizeti. Ìlò omi òjò lẹ́ẹ̀ máa lo ayélujára íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ní yàwàlù. Torí pé gbajúgbajà ní iléeṣẹ́ Tizeti Network Limited nídìí ìpèsè ayélujára lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà fún iléeṣẹ́ ńláńlá àti olókoòwò kéékèèké lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti. Ẹ lè browse kẹ́ stream kẹ́ sì tún gbá géèmù bó ṣe wù yín láì níkọ̀sẹ̀ pẹ̀lú ìlànà ẹgbẹ̀lẹ́mùkú data. Kèé máa ṣeré ìwọ ni kó o má sọ̀fànù. 12,500 naira péré lẹ́ẹ̀ fi jẹ mùlá data fódìdí oṣù kan gbáko lábẹ́ àbúradà Tizeti láì níkọ̀sẹ̀. Ẹ kàn sí wifi.com.ng/oyo. Ẹ sì lè pe 01-2298-786 tàbí kẹ́ ẹ tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ sí internet@wifi.com.ng. Ayélujára ní yàwàlù.
ọ̀rẹ́ mi ṣé o ti ra tìmùtìmù titun.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n tún fún mi lápò ìrẹsì pàápàá.
ṣé lóòótọ́.
òótọ́ ni. òótọ́ ni ra èyíkéyìí tìmùtìmù múkà ìbáàjẹ́ flora tàbí well-being pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rí méjì kó o sì gba àpò ìrẹsì kan lọ́fẹ̀ẹ́. yọjú sí èyíkéyìí ojúlówó alágbàtà múkà jákèjádò Nàìjíríà láti rà á. àǹfààní yìí wà títí ọjà yóò fi tán ni. ó ní ìlànà àti òfin o. múkà àfikún sí ìgbé ayé ìrọ̀rùn.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Maale for villa. Just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge? Just use Momo. You wan pay for market where you buy? Just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account o. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account or inside your Momo account to fiam make you fit dey pay for anything. Send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
You're about to close the deal of a lifetime, and suddenly your phone goes off because your battery is low. There's a hot gist in town, and just when you're about to hear it, your smartphone disappoints you. Oh, not again. Even worse, you're about to get that yes, but they can't reach you. No smartphone guarantees you your dream like the INT'L P40. With just one charge of its mega 6,000 mAh battery, power is yours for 3 days. Also get 5 GB from INT'L for just 1,000 naira when you buy INT'L P40 and activate it with an INT'L 4G SIM card. SMS GET to 141 to get this offer. INT'L P40, one charge for 3 days.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, so welcome back. You're still on to Break It On Papers Review here on 32 FM 94.9. Of course, it's right about time to take your contributions on social media. And of course, we'll also open the phone lines. Do remember that we're live on Facebook and also on YouTube. And you can actually drop your contributions there. 32 FM 949 Ibadan. Of course, the numbers are 070-555-5000, 949 or 080-97000-949. All right, I guess we have our first call.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. What's your name?
Adeshu from UI.
All right, let's hear you.
I want to react to the analysis of Augustine. That this incoming government should assemble best hands. As for me, I don't need to deceive myself. My brother, who are the best hands? Are we going to hear different names apart from the fashion law today? Bayani and DJ Rufai and Co. Are they going to be different? That's on the lighter note. I also got interested about the issue of the Senate presidency. Akpabio and Kalu, are they not part of those that the spread the leader for 3 years of PDP that APC and Buhari and Tinubu are shouting about? My brother, let's have the best of today.
All right, thank you. 0705 500949, 0809 700949. You can also drop comments on Facebook. That's facebook.com/32FM 949. Hello, good morning.
Kenny.
Good morning.
GBOLABO morning. Austin, good morning. GBOLABO asked a sensitive question. That's the question I'm also asking. What is Ngige's justification in telling us he is earning 942,000 as his basic salary? I think the man, as far as I'm concerned, is the most callous, the most insensitive minister in this labor minister that I've ever seen in this nation. The man is callous, he's sensitive, and he talks anyhow. 942,000 as his basics. Please, what has that got to do with what the people are asking? I don't understand. Insensitivity of these our leaders. Good morning. It's okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, for that one. Austin, you want to chime in on that one? Comments like, the doctors have options to go abroad. They don't exactly assuage this tense situation that we have on ground, does it?
Of course not. They have option. They can travel out of the country. Some of the damage this issue of Japa migration will cause, we might not feel the negative impact until maybe after a decade from now. So the government had to watch it. They have the liberty to travel. That's just the truth. You can't hold anybody. But you must create an environment that appeals to people to stay. Because the atmosphere in Nigeria is tense today. The economy is biting. The situation is becoming more volatile. Even doing businesses in Nigeria is becoming very dicey. So the government need to urgently reverse this ugly trend. If you look at the number of people that are traveling out of the country, you will weep for the future of this country. That's the truth.
All right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Comrade John Felix, calling from Oyo.
All right.
On the issue of the Senate presidency, when you look at the Obasanjo regime, you will see in the speakership when Patricia Ete and co. So, the Southwest did not fully vote for President Olusegun Obasanjo then, but eventually pushed that speakership to Southwest. Now, come to the issue of Akpabio or Mr. Akano. Two of them, if you look at it very well, two of them don't supposed to be even an officer or hold any post in that 10th assembly. Why I'm saying this is that these people have been accused for corruption. So if the APC is not corrupt by themselves, so how are they going to gather these corrupt people into power and to drive the economy of this country? Are they not going to loot it all? Good morning.
All right, good morning. I guess we should go on Facebook too and take some comment. Balkis Onodiran says, although the Buhari administration made an effort in the area of infrastructure, the reality is that in comparison to the promises they made during the campaign, they have failed horribly. Therefore, the administration shouldn't try to make things worse for the incoming administration by attempting to implement wage increases and the removal of subsidies which may not actually materialize.
Another call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
This is John Olariwaju from Agbo.
All right.
On the issue of the appointment of the officers in the House of Assembly, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that it's something that I need to bother myself much, because as it is now, because some of them that are fighting for that position, some even say they want competence, they don't want religion. Why even some say that no, so we should be zoning it. Whether competence, to me, is that if you look at many of the members we have in the House of Assembly, to me, even when we come talking about competence as far as I'm concerned, I don't think that many of them are competent, because not that they do not have a good qualification. They have. But the system that in that House of Assembly, we even made them to corrupt. Many of them are already corrupt because they have one issue or the other with the EFCC. And many of these people that have issue with the EFCC, they are the ones that leading to get into the position of the Senate President, House of Assembly, as a speaker as well. So what are we expecting? So I don't need to bother myself about that. Anyone that got to the position finally, well, maybe is the one that the elect president wants to work with him. Thank you and good morning.
Good morning. Okay, we'll take some more messages on Facebook. You can call 0705 5949, 0809 7949.
All right, quickly back to Facebook. Omotai Oluwaro Simeon Obamiri says, good morning. Our system is so lopsided. As a labor minister in Gige earns 942,000 naira, yet the average worker earns something like 30,000 naira per month. We have to find a way to make our system more equitable. All right. We'll go back to the phone lines right about now. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah.
My name is Benga Mario, calling from Apacha. I want to ask Mr. Austin this question. Has that $800 million that was meant for census, has it been given to the, is it in the coffers of the country? And I want Mr. Austin to please explain to me, if the money has been given to the federal government, what is going to happen to that money? Will it be transferred to the next incoming administration? Thank you very much.
All right, Austin, a question for you there.
Of course, yes. The government has been able to access, I think, about 70% of that loan. That is why they contemplated the idea of disbursement. You understand? So whether it will be transferred to the next administration, I don't think so. Because the government want to share the money at all costs. They even brought up a formula that 5,000 to vulnerable people, for I think about 40 million households within 6 months or so. Somebody said Patricia Olubunmi Ete was speaker during Obasanjo. That was not true. It was under Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, June to October of 2007. That was that. Then somebody also talked about Ojuzo Kalu and Akpabio having corruption cases. That is my absolute opinion. That's the truth. We don't have to continue to recycle those who have pending cases in court. In my view, if it must be in the South, there's another contender, Osita Izunazo from Imo State. He's also a ranking senator. Right. But in the South, I think it's only Akpabio that is a ranking senator. That's the issue. So if he wants to come from the South, we should also look in the direction of that senator from Imo State, who is also a ranking senator. Because if not for the rottenness in our judicial system, Ojuzo Kalu ought to be in prison by now. That's the truth.
Okay, 0705 5009 for night. We just might be able to squeeze one more call and take some more messages from Facebook.
All right, we'll take this from Raji Afiz. Abidemi says, good morning, Kenny, GBOLABO, and analysts in the studio. On the issue of NLC requesting for increase in service age, honestly, we don't need it. What we need more is good environment, healthcare services, and they should work on inflation so that the money civil servants are collecting will be justifiable. God bless Nigeria. All right. We quickly take this call as our last call for the day. Hello, good morning.
Okay, lost that one. Thank you very much, Austin, for your time, your insight on some of the headlines this morning. We do appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
My name is Kenny. Drew Tulu, the Smart Kid Show is up next.
And I'm GBOLABO, famous call. Bye for now.